On the next one. I've got a plus and then a minus. So that tells me that they're both going to be minus. And two numbers that multiply to equal a positive 10, but when I add them they equal a negative 11, will be a negative 1 and a negative 10. The next one. I'm going to have a W and a W. This is a minus right here, so that tells me that one's plus and one's minus. Two numbers now that when I multiply them they equal a negative 14, but when I add them they equal a negative 13, will be a negative 14 and 1. And the last one. This is a plus, this is a minus, so that tells me they're both minus. And two numbers when I multiply them equal a positive 30. When I add them they equal a negative 11, be 6 and 5. Now in solving these equations, you use the same concept as we were before. You're going to find get one side so that you have a product of two terms or of two binomials, and then set each piece equal to 0 and solve it. So first off, I've got this one right here, x squared minus 6x minus 27. I need to factor my left side. So I'm going to get an x and an x equals 0. And this is a minus, so that tells me that one is going to be negative, the other is going to be positive. Next, I need to find two numbers. When I multiply them they equal a negative 27. When I add them they equal a negative 6. So it's going to be x minus 9 and x plus 3. And so now I know that either x minus 9 equals 0 or x plus 3 equals 0. And I solve each piece. On this one here I'm going to get x equals to 9, and here I'll get x is equal to negative 3. So my answer will be a 9 and a negative 3. On the next one, I can't do anything to this one yet until I get 0 on one side. So I need to get this 24 over to this side. In order to do that, I need to subtract 24 from both sides. So I got y squared plus 23y minus 24 equals 0. Now I can factor the left side. And one's going to be plus and one's going to be minus because I've got a minus 24. The two numbers when I multiply them equal a negative 24, but when I add them they equal a positive 23. Will be a positive 24 and a negative 1. And that's equal to 0. And so I'll get y plus 24 equals 0, or y minus 1 equals 0. So I'll get for an answer y is equal to negative 24, and y is equal to 1. So my answer will be 24 and 1. Negative 24 and 1. On the last one, go ahead and just cross it off. There's a typo on there, and actually because of that typo it actually will not factor. So just cross that one off. If you've tried on it and it doesn't work, I'm sorry about that. On the next section, this is the section that we all seem to love to hate. And that's the trial and error method that we have to use to solve or to factor these. Remember the trial and error method. I have to find the factors of the first one and the last one. My factors of 2 are 1 and 2. My factors of 3 are 1 times 3. Remember, the same rules apply. If this is a plus, they're both going to be the same. If that's a plus, they're both going to be plus. Then I'm going to have a 1x and a 2x, getting from these numbers from over here. And then I have to figure out where to put 1 and 3 in order to get my middle term of 7. If I put a 3 here and a 1 here, and then I FOIL it to check it, x times 1 is x, 3 times 2x is 6x, x plus 6x is 7x, which is what we're looking for in the middle. So this right here will be your answer. On the next one, I've got a 6, which would be 3 times 2 and 6 times 1. And over here I've got a 2, which would just be a 1 times 2. Now remember what I've told you before. If this middle term is fairly small, you want to go ahead and try your smaller terms first. If you go ahead and do that, and then you're going to see it won't work, then go ahead and try your larger ones. Again, you're going to try that. You're going to find that those won't work either. And so when none of them work, the trinomial is prime. It won't factor. On the next one, you write your factors of 2 and your factors of 5. They're both plus, so you're going to get 2x plus, and then x plus, and you're going to you need to get a 5 here, and your 1 here, and then if you FOIL it to check it, you're going to get 5x and 2x, which gives you 7x, which is what you're looking for. So that's going to be your answer. On the last one, you have factors of 5, and factors of 14. You're going to have C. This is a plus right here. This is a minus right here, so they're both going to be minus. You have C and 5C, and then you're going to want to have a 2 here and a 7 here. Check it by FOILing. 2 times 5C is 10C, and C times 7 is 7C, which gives you a 17C, which is what you're looking for. So that'll be your answer.